Folks, we finally are seeing some rain across the viewing area. It's going to continue as we roll on into the afternoon. When can we expect things to start drying out again? We'll have your forecast in just a bit.
And welcome to DC News Now at noon. I'm Mark Hall. We continue to follow breaking news out of Annapolis, Maryland that has left a community shattered. Police are investigating a mass shooting that happened in a neighborhood last night. 6 people were shot. 3 of them died at the scene. It happened along a stretch of Paddington Place in the Wilshire community at 8 last night. That's where we find DC News Now's Lex Juarez, who's been covering the story all morning. She's as the latest in the investigation. And Lex, police are saying that there was a graduation party going on at the time.
Yeah, Mark, that's right. Actually, neighbors tell us that it was a party going on at the home where this shooting actually took place. Now, I am actually about a mile away from the scene right now at the police department. We're waiting for a press conference to come out. The Annapolis Police Department tells me that they now know the names of the victims. They have a name for the suspect that they do have in custody, and they are going to be releasing that information to us here shortly within the next hour or half hour. So we are at the police station waiting for that. Now, this morning we were at the scene. This is a multi-agency investigation. FBI is on the scene as well as the police department, and they still had the caution tape up, still examining evidence and filling up their forensic teams, filling up the cars with that evidence throughout this morning. So the shooting happened at 8 o'clock last night, and they are still ongoing on the scene, actively working to put the pieces together to figure out exactly what led to the shooting. I think that's the missing piece here that they're looking for. Hopefully we get some answers from them in this press conference a little while later, and of course we'll bring that to you live right here on DC News Now as it happens. I'm going to go ahead and toss it back to you in the studio, and we'll talk to you guys in a little bit.
Lex Juarez, thank you. And again, Lex mentioned that a news conference is set to begin at any moment now. We're going to bring that to you live once it begins. We're taking a live look out at, I believe it's Reagan National. You can see, I can barely see it, but my goodness, and I think we're waiting perhaps on rain to begin. But let's head over now to meteorologist Damon Matson for the check on the forecast. And Damon, are we expecting rain that's going to last throughout the day?
Well, Mark, we're still waiting on some rainfall along the I-95 corridor here into D.C., but parts of the DMV to the west, oh yes, we have had some soggy weather. When's the last time we said that? Easily back into the month of May. But folks, let's check that out. That live radar right now. Wow, we got a lot of rain building in across the entire viewing area. Some of those lighter showers, again, just barely making their way to the east. But let's focus in on where some of that steadier rainfall is currently located. We need it across the entire viewing area, so any bit of rain we get today is going to be needed, and we will take it. But there you go. We have some steadier showers working across Garrett County, much of the eastern panhandle, seeing rain at this hour right along the I-68 corridor, Route 48 there through West Virginia as well, seeing the bulk of the steady rainfall at this point. That will continue to push east. We have a couple of heavier showers just pushing out of Frederick County in Maryland, but we are starting to see those lighter showers work into the I-270 corridor now, and eastern portions of the viewing area will be dealing with the soggy weather as we move forward. And there you go, Washington, D.C. back down to the south on I-95. Just some light showers, so we're still waiting on the bulk of the soggy weather off to the east. But we're going to get it. We're going to have pockets of rainfall, a few thunderstorms. Some of them could be on the strong side, so we will have to pay attention for that. But overall, a very beneficial rain is expected as we go through the rest of the afternoon off into the evening. But folks, is this the only bit of rainfall we're going to get this week, or is it going to be a pretty unsettled pattern moving forward? We'll have your full forecast coming up here in just a bit.
All right, Damon, thank you. A Northern Virginia community is trying to figure out how to solve the youth drug epidemic. There's a new effort in Fairfax County to help put teens on a path to a healthy and successful life. Max Marcella takes a closer look.
This isn't just any high school graduation. This is the first ever class of a Virginia recovery high school. Chesterfield County Public Schools opened the first one last August, and it's already seeing results.
So they're now separated from those triggers and those influences, so they actually can focus on their sobriety.
Justin Savoy is the coordinator of the program. It serves students across the Richmond metro. A typical day, he says, is a mix of meals and traditional education with therapy and other treatment options.
Throughout the day, they have individual check-ins with their clinicians as well.
Anyone in recovery will tell you that the right support can make all the difference.
Now, Fairfax County School Board is asking the superintendent about potentially opening its own recovery high school. Carl Frisch led the effort.
We can't leave anybody behind, and that includes students who are in recovery.
Being able to do what we do in my brother's memory kind of keeps him alive in a way.
For Ginny Atwood Lovett, who grew up in Fairfax County and is an FCPS alum, this couldn't come soon enough. She leads the Chris Atwood Foundation, a nonprofit dedicated to recovery services in honor of its namesake, Chris Atwood, who died of an overdose when he was just 21.
I think that if there had been a recovery high school for him back then he could still be alive today.
A new political push could bring whole milk back to school lunches. Right now, schools can only serve low-fat or fat-free milk, but a bipartisan bill would put whole milk back on the table. Republican Glenn Thompson is leading the effort.
We've really ruined an entire generation of milk drinkers. We've really cheated them out of access to the most nutritional beverage.
Well, whole milk was taken out of schools because of concerns about its higher fat content, which is why other lawmakers say that this should be up to nutritional experts. The bill passed the committee and is now headed to the full House. Well, Commuter Alert for you. If you take the George Washington Memorial Parkway on your morning commute, be ready for delays. The 3-lane traffic pattern has been extended, and that means that the right northbound lane will temporarily close from Route 123 to Windy Run Bridge. National Park Service is asking drivers to respect the speed limit and plan alternate routes to avoid expected delays. And some good news for Metro bus riders. Starting today, Metro is adding more buses on all routes that provide service to the 4 closed stations on the Orange and Silver lines. Metro has also started running a new Silver Line Express route that will run 7 days a week. The line runs between Roslyn and McLean stations. Now, Metro says that the new route means riders going from Roslyn to Dulles Airport should double-check the shuttle goes to the airport as well. Metro says that these changes are so that they can move forward and also help people and decrease wait times. The Vienna Dunn Loring West Falls Church and East Falls Church stations will remain closed through June 25th. Well, it's been a few weeks since Metro installed new fare gates at its Fort Totten Metro station. Now, they've already reduced the number of those who are avoiding paying their fares by half. But our Dave Laval tells us that one D.C. council member believes that she has a plan to cut down on those who don't pay even further.
Currently, fare evaders around D.C. can be fined $50. Plus, they do not have to give their name or address to Metro Police who catch them. However, Councilmember Brooke Pinto wants to change that and increase the fine for those who don't cooperate. Some take advantage of a broken gate to avoid paying to catch their train at the Fort Totten Metro station. Others piggyback off someone to pay their fare. Violators face a $50 fine, but they are not required to give Metro Police their name or address when they're caught. D.C. Council member Brooke Pinto wants to double the fine to $100 for anyone who does not provide that information.
Ooh, interesting.
Anna did not want to give her last name. She supports efforts to recoup money from fare evaders and use it to help Metro transportation.
The money goes into paying them for the work that they do, especially given the recent violence that's been on the Metro, so yeah.
The Washington Metropolitan Area Transit Authority, or WMATA, operates the Metro system. It blamed fare evaders for a 22% deficit in the current budget.
It's good to encourage people to pay.
Fare evaders in Maryland and Virginia are required to provide their IDs when they're stopped by Metro Police. and are fined $100 for not paying for their rides. Pinto's measure could be acted on at this week's council meeting. At the Fort Totten Metro Station, Dave Laval, DC News Now.
Thank you, Dave. Well, you might have already seen the messages on your Netflix account limiting who can log in. It's all part of the company's recent crackdown on password sharing, but it's prompting backlash online. Under the change, anyone not in your home will not be able to use the password for your account. Premium account holders who pay between $15 to $20 a month will be able to add one person outside their home. That will cost an additional $8 a month. One expert explains what this all means.
The hope is by cracking down, they can turn some of those people that they boot off into reluctant paying customers. But of course, the flip side is the people who maybe are deliberately sharing their account and see it as a way of getting a discount might not want to pay the full freight for just their individual streaming account.
And before the crackdown, Netflix reported losing millions of subscribers in a single quarter. Now, according to new data from research firm Antenna, the crackdown appears to be working. And the data shows that 4 days after the crackdown began led to the largest amount of signups since January of 2019. When that data tracking began, it was a 102% increase from the previous average and even higher than the number of signups during the pandemic. However, cancellations also increased during those 4 days through the company expected this. Still, the number of signups outnumbered the amount of cancellations. Meantime, cordcutting.com surveyed 1,500 users. Only 8% of people using other people's accounts said that they would pay for their own. About a quarter of paying subscribers said they would cancel their accounts. Right now, we just learned of new details about the news conference that's set to begin, but we're going to send it shortly. Let's send it back out to Lex Juarez, who is live in Annapolis with the latest. Lex?
Hey, Mark. Yeah, we have been waiting all morning to get this update from police. It has been pushed back a few times already. We just heard from the police department as soon as I finished talking with you about 10 minutes ago. They told us that the news conference is now going to start at 1 o'clock this afternoon. That's because Governor Westmore is going to be coming. They had to accommodate with his schedule today. So this clearly, we know this was a big deal, a mass shooting that happened here in Annapolis, but it has been so devastating to the community that the governor is making his way over here. He's going to be part of that press conference as well. Now, we do know that during the press conference, we're going to be able to learn the names of the victims as well as the suspect that they have in custody. As of the last time that we heard from police, that was just a person of interest in custody and had not been charged. So they tell me that there's going to be releasing the name of the suspect, and then we can assume based on that there's going to be some charges they're going to be telling us about as well. Hopefully they'll have some more information along their investigation as far as what led up to this shooting as well, and just be able to really put the pieces together around what happened here. Of course, we're going to have a crew here, and we're going to bring you guys updates a little bit later on today. Live in Annapolis, I'm Lex Juarez, DC News Now.